We've all been there. You're at a networking event, a first date, or a coffee catch-up with a colleague. The initial pleasantries are over. You've asked about the weather, their job, and where they're from.
And then, it happens. That heavy, suffocating silence.
Your heart rate spikes. Your brain starts scanning for anything to say, but all you find is a blank wall. In the Charisma Playbook, we call this the social hazard zone. This is the moment where most people panic and start filling the air with nervous chatter, which actually pushes people away.
But what if you never had to feel that panic again? What if silence wasn't a threat, but a tool? Today we're going to show you how to move from being a social hazard to a safe harbor by using a simple framework we call the detective mindset. By the end of this video, you won't just know what to say. You'll know how to make the other person feel like the most interesting person in the room. So let's discuss why small talk eventually fails.
Most people think charisma is about being a great talker. They think you need a library of witty stories and perfect punchlines. But as we discussed in our listening series, charisma is actually about how you make the other person feel.
Small talk fails because it's a low-stakes transaction. How are you? Good. Busy? Yeah, crazy. These are dead-end exchanges. They don't trigger what neurologists call neural coupling, that beautiful moment where two brains actually sync up.
To build a bridge of connection, you have to move from interview mode to discovery mode. You need to stop being a reporter and start being a detective. With that said, let's now dive into the detective mindset. In the connection chapter of the book, we introduce the detective mindset. A detective doesn't look for the obvious, they look for the clues that others miss.
When someone is speaking, they are constantly dropping emotional anchors, words or phrases that have more weight than others.
If someone says, "Yeah, work is fine, but I'm really looking forward to the hiking trip this weekend," a social hazard will respond to the first part. "Oh, that's good, work is fine."
The detective ignores the work comment and hooks onto the hiking trip. Why? Because that's where the emotion is.
The playbook move. Look for the spark word. What did they say with a bit more energy? What did they mention twice? That is your entry point. Instead of thinking of your next story, listen for their next clue. Now that you discovered a clue, we will next discuss what to actually do with it. Once you find a clue, you need to unlock it. This is where open-ended questioning comes in. In the Charisma Playbook, we advocate for the how and what rule. Questions that start with, "Did you?" "Are you?" or "Do you?" are binary. They lead to yes or no. They are the small talk killers.
Compare these two. Closed. Did you have a good time hiking? Answer, yes. Open. What is it about being out in the woods that clears your head? Answer, a story.
The science. When you ask a what or how question, you are asking the other person to access their frontal lobe, to reflect and create. This triggers a release of dopamine in their brain. Because you are the one who triggered that hit of feel-good neurochemistry, they subconsciously associate that pleasure with you.
Now, once you've used a what or how question to get them talking, you hit the most critical part of the bridge, reflective paraphrasing. So, what exactly is reflective paraphrasing, and how do we use it as a bridge? Most people think listening is just being silent until it's your turn to talk. That's a mistake. True connection requires active proof that you've understood not just their words, but their intent.
In the book, we teach a technique called the echo. When someone shares a piece of their story, don't just move to the next question. Briefly paraphrase what they said, but add an emotional label to it. I've been working on this project for 6 months, and we finally launched it yesterday, but I'm just exhausted. Oh, cool. What's the next project?
So you've put half a year of your life into this, and even though it's a success, it sounds like you're feeling more drained than celebratory right now.
Why this is a power move. When you reflect someone's emotions back to them accurately, you trigger a massive release of oxytocin. You've moved from small talk to deep resonance. You aren't just a guy they're talking to, you're someone who understands them. This is how you make an impression that lasts for years in just a few minutes.
Sometimes the conversation dies because the other person is feeling guarded. They are afraid of being judged, so they keep their answers short. This is when you use the vulnerability bridge.
Charisma isn't about being perfect, it's about being relatable. If the conversation feels stiff, share a small, low-stakes vulnerability. To be honest, I always feel a bit awkward at these networking events until I find someone to actually talk to. I've been trying to learn to cook lately, but let's just say my smoke alarm is getting a lot of practice.
When you show a small crack in your armor, it signals to the other person's nervous system that you are a safe harbor. It gives them permission to be real too. This is the fastest way to skip the small talk and move into deep connection.
There is one more tool in the playbook for when the conversation feels thin: embracing the empty space. We often feel the need to jump in the second someone stops talking. But some of the most charismatic people we've studied use a 2-second grace note, a deliberate pause after the other person finishes speaking.
This pause does two things. It proves you weren't just waiting to talk, you were actually processing what they said. It often prompts the other person to continue. Usually, the best information, the real clues for your detective mindset, comes after the first pause. People often keep talking to fill the silence, and that's when they tell you what they're truly passionate about. By doing less, you're actually discovering more.
We don't want you to just watch this. We want you to use it. Here is your charisma drill for this week. It's called the 2-minute detective.
In your next conversation, whether it's with the barista, a coworker, or a partner, spend the first 2 minutes exclusively looking for clues. Find one spark word. Ask one what or how question about it. Share one tiny, relatable vulnerability if the energy feels stiff.
Observe how the energy in the room shifts. You'll notice their body language opens up. They'll maintain more eye contact, and the silence you once feared will become a comfortable space where you're both just present.
Never running out of things to say isn't about having a full mouth. It's about having an open mind. When you stop worrying about your performance and start focusing on your partner, the charisma bridge builds itself.
If you want the full 30-day roadmap to mastering these skills, grab a copy of the Charisma Playbook. The link is in the description. And if this video helped you feel a little less anxious about your next social encounter, hit the like button and subscribe. We're building a community of leaders who lead with compassion and connection.